For sure, this is not a traditional approach to strategy creation. First of all, stop focusing on your current market position and resources at your own hand. Look at the bigger picture. Or, as the famous quote is saying, it's not about the cards you're dealt, but how you play the hand. Just like an entrepreneur, you have to start with your end goal, or a vision, and gradually build from there, looking for ways to succeed, even if the moves are not so common, including bluffing or negotiating. Basically, it's all about changing the circumstances in your own favor. For example, you can add some political moves like creating coalitions, making trade-offs or one-off deals, or even partnerships. Ploy can be a regular move as well, etc. At the essence, you are looking for the people and organizations that are complementary to you, so you can build or work together with them, or to find some other ways of doing a business with them. Let's explain. For example, nowadays it is very common to see competitors from the automobile industry working together on electric vehicle technology development via JVs. Basically, you are looking to partner with someone more advanced than you. He is going to invest more in technology, while you'll give the money, or vice versa, targeting to steal his, or to build your own competitive advantage. He, meaning your partner, is doing this in order to reduce his own overall risk exposure, or he might be lacking some money. There must be something in order for him to be open to partnering with you. Related real-life example to broaden your perspective: Chinese companies, Geely and BYD, previously without any history of making cars, out of nowhere, started challenging established automobile players globally, especially with electric vehicles. So, let's see how that happened. First, Geely. They bought Volvo in 2010. At a time, Volvo was famous for building the safest cars on the planet. If you research Geely Company, you can easily see how they, over the years, acquired not just Volvo, but also minority stakes in other reputable car producers as well, like Aston Martin, Daimler, which is the owner of Mercedes-Benz and Smart, acquired Lotus, etc. Or, look at BYD. They started as battery producers and entered the automobile business by acquiring a small Chinese automobile producer in 2003. Initially, they were focused on the reverse engineering of competitors' products and supplier parts. Over time, they improved, and in 2010 even created a JV with Mercedes-Benz focused on developing new energy cars. In 2016, the company hired Wolfgang Egger as BYD Auto's head of design, who built his career at Alfa Romeo, Audi, and Seat, with the goal to improve the overall car design. So, to make the long story short, both companies are not developing their core know-how on their own, from scratch. They are buying it, one way or another. Another, different example, it's a legal move to buy a piece of land in order for others to think that we will expand there. However, the goal might be to trick them, not to really expand there. That's a ploy. Legal movement, but still a ploy. And we have just scratched the topic, while other approaches to strategy thinking don't even deal with such ideas. Yet, those are very common activities in everyday business life. To better understand the point about the pirate's approach, we can group all the activities into the intercompany and between the companies set of activities. Intercompany. The key assumption refers to the point that under uncertainty, scarce resources, competing goals, and similar, there is a low possibility that an optimal strategy will be formed and implemented. Rather, competitive leaders within a company will negotiate resource allocation and create alliances and coalitions in favor for maximizing their own interests and pursuing visions, causing a power struggle and distortion of an intended strategy all over the way. For example, a decision to acquire another company or to develop a similar unit internally, to sell a struggling capacity or give it another try. Choose between young squads proposing a new technology or old guys favoring existing, already tested one, etc. As a result, it's hard to believe that a strategy is a result of a single architect or a homogeneous team. It is rather a result of an emerging process than a deliberate choice. Between the companies deal with different stakeholders in order to achieve their goals and fulfill the purpose. Yet, the stakeholders affect the goals and purpose as well. A leader's role is to balance power, manage situations, and diverse players. Here, success usually depends on soft impressions, quick actions, and gut feeling. Strategic maneuvering includes all sorts of interorganizational strategies, symbiotic and competitive in nature. For example, it's very common for the company to pursue an M&A approach to expand to new territory if the market is dominated by few local players. A wise strategist will rather try to persuade one of them to sell the business or to partner with, instead, to enter the market and start fighting from the scratch. Or, if the suppliers are strong, devastating companies' profitability, a leader will try to expand his domain either by expanding the value chain through acquiring that or a similar production unit, or by co-optation of a supplier's representative in order to soften his negotiation position. Or, a leader might choose to hire lobbyists or other pressure groups in order to facilitate regulatory framework in order to protect his market and increase barriers to entry. As you can see, possibilities are endless. Here, a strategy is rather an emerging process than a deliberate one, since a strategist cannot be sure if and when he is going to make a deal and acquire prospective targets or not, or if his lobbyists are going to succeed over competitors and similar. He just has to adjust his policy, or a strategy, accordingly. As an inspiration for better understanding this approach, we might recommend you to watch an old movie, Pirates of Silicon Valley, describing the ways of Steve Jobs and Bill Gates acting like real pirates. Honestly, that was the inspiration to name this approach. Limits. As you can guess, this approach sounds great, yet it has its own downsides. For example, yes, strategy formation has a lot to do with power, politics, ploy, and negotiations. Yet it's more than this. It affects both the process and the content for sure. Yet, some deeper drivers should guide a strategist, a sort of purpose and meaning. Benefits. On the other hand, this popular approach has its own good sides as well. It brought to strategy thinking topics about political concepts like coalitions, ploy, and similar. It highlighted the importance of power in situations when a change is needed, while well-established players are seeking to maintain the status quo.